All right. Welcome back everyone to the streams. Welcome back. Hey, what's up guys? Hey, 3 likes. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna begin in a couple of seconds here. But welcome guys, welcome. Let's get the likes going. Let's go. Alright, hey, 5 likes. Awesome. Okay, so as you guys see here in the title, let me adjust the mic here for a little bit. We are going to take a look at ticker symbol GRAB or grab, right? So this is has intrigued me from a technical and a fundamental perspectives, and so I want to kind of share that with you guys and give you guys an insight as to why this is kind of it's intriguing me. Okay, this is what I was saying. It's intriguing me for a long-term position. Okay, hey Joel, what's up? All is well here. Hopefully everything is great for you as well. Thank you for asking. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome. Come on in. I am just beginning, so you guys have not missed out on much. Welcome. Hey, a lot of people coming in now. Hopefully everyone is getting their notifications that I am live. All right. Hey, I see you guys your reactions there on the chat. It's always nice to see that. All right, so first of all, let's go over what Grab is. What is this company about? Grab Holdings Limited. So based on my very short research that I've done, Grab is basically the Uber of Southeast Asia, but it's not just an Uber. It's not just a ride-hailing service, right? They have multiple different services in one single app, right? They have food delivery, they have digital payment services, and they have ride-hailing. Obviously, that's kind of their main line of business. But again, they operate through a bunch of different avenues, right? As one single company, right? One holdings company, and one fun fact was that, well, since they initially started as a taxi service, or like, you know, they provided rides, they had some name changes from, I believe the initial name was mytaxi. So that's kind of funny because that's kind of the way that South Koreans say taxi, and so I don't know where the founder is from. I didn't really look into that, but the original name was mytaxi, and after that it became Grab Taxi, and now it's just Grab Holdings Limited, right? So that's a little fun fact there. So basically, this company operates through an app, right? And this app is available and is widely used in Southeast Asia. So countries like, think about it, you know, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines. What else? Thailand, right? Vietnam, right? So these countries, they're all using this app, and this is basically essentially like the Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash app. It's just everything's consolidated into one single app, and so this is a very convenient app that seems to have grown exponentially in Southeast Asia, and all these different countries that I just named, right, or all the countries that are in Southeast Asia. I'm pretty sure I missed out on some, but my apologies if I didn't mention one of the countries that maybe you're from. But and so, you know, Grab here, it's looking pretty good because when you take a look at the fundamental side, so let's go over the financials of the company, right? So I believe based on the reports that I saw, the most recent quarterly earnings reports, the most important thing that I saw from them was that their free cash flow, right? Their free cash flow has just turned positive in 2024, mid 2024, and actually, they're able to sustain a positive free cash flow for 2 quarters back to back. Right, so this is a significant improvement from 2023 when they just had 1 single quarter of a free cash flow, a positive free cash flow. And to me, this tells me that hey, this company is moving in the right direction, and from a financial perspective, they are really trying to balance things out, right? Quote unquote, balance things out. As all the accountants say, right? And it seems like they're being financially prudent and trying to achieve this positive free cash flow, which is again very, very important. Why? Well, they can use that free cash flow to either invest back into the company or pay down debt and just do things that can help grow the company, right? So there's a plethora of things that a company can do with the positive free cash flow, because again, this is the remaining amount of cash on hand that they have after all the operating expenses and etc., right? So anything that they need to pay off, right? So from their earnings or their revenue. So that really caught my eye, right? This company, this small company, well, quote unquote small, since there's a huge market in overall Asia, obviously, just based on population wise, right, guys? Grab seems to be trying to become a bit more multinational as well. It seems like they're a bit more looking forward a future where they can expand further in the Asian countries, not just focus on Southeastern Asian countries, right? And so to me, it seems like it seems like this, well, I don't think I actually mentioned this before I began talking about Grab, but Grab is a company based in Singapore, right? It's a Singaporean company, by the way, right? And so I believe their headquarters is in Singapore as well, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it should be, right? So, this seems like the company is doing extremely well from that perspective. Now, what's also interesting to me, okay, is that we're actually seeing some very, very good gross profit margins on this company, right? So this is something that companies like Uber, Lyft initially struggled with, right? But Grab here has been able to consistently give us a very good gross profit margin percentages for consecutive quarters, right? And this is something to note, because this is not just it wasn't just a single digit percentage for a profit margin percentage. It was double digits here. I believe the most recent number here, data from Grab, was 43% profit margin, gross profit margin percentage. I mean, that's pretty good, right? And so to me, this company, again, it shows that it's on the right path, right? It continues to be able to take in more profits from their earnings, right? And it continues to also rapidly grow as well with in regards to earnings and revenue, right? So now the other fundamental metric that kind of caught my eye was their debt, right? So this company is actually, funny thing is, this company has a very, very, very low debt. In fact, right, I believe they don't have debt anymore. Let me actually make sure that what I read was correct. Right. So Grab is on point. Is on a great path to lowering their debt to zero. Because right now their total debt sits at 328 million. Okay, and this is pretty significant because they've been consistently, since I would say around 2022, like early 2022, ever since early 2022, they've been consistently lowering their debt, right? And in regards to the total debt as well, they have a very large cash flow as well, right? They have a lot of cash reserves too that completely offsets their debt. So to me, this company, again, just from that debt perspective, things are looking up, right? Things are looking very, very up for this company, just from a financial perspective, right? It seems like the CFO or the CEO, they all have a good goal in mind when it comes to their finances, right? They're not trying to just, please their shareholders, not just trying to pay themselves off with stock-based compensation, right? They're not just focused on that. They're actually focused on building out this company, being able to year by year, every single fiscal year, trying to make sure that they're financially, quote unquote balanced, right? Or I'm trying to make sure that they have enough to continue their business and they continue to grow, right? That's the most important thing. And based on all of this, right, with this financial metrics that I've been looking at, they've been able to actually, in the most recent quarters as well, increase their cash on hand and short-term investments as well. And this amount itself and the most recent data that we have completely is different, right? In amount, the difference in amount in their cash and short-term investments to the total debt is absolutely amazing. So I believe they have nearly 6 billion in cash and short-term investments compared to the total debt of nearly 330 million, right? So this company, again, all I'm saying is that they're doing something right here, right? From a financial perspective, they're doing something correct. Now, based on all of this, right, based on all this financial metrics and just from a fundamental perspective, it seems like now when we translate that over to the actual stock market price of Grab, it seems like the actual market for the share price on ticker symbol GARB is reacting to those financial metrics, to these very nice improving financial metrics on this company. And things continue to look up even for the share price because, well, let's just do a very quick technical analysis here. I haven't really shown you guys my live technical analysis in a long time, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So I made this, so there was actually some analysis done here on this stock since I took a look at this stock way back in 2023 as I was building out this very solid base. So we actually start out with that, right? But I raised it just for this live stream. So there's obviously a very major level of resistance at $4 here, the whole number level of $4, and there was a very nice ascending support trendline that was being made here. Actually, let me actually do that again. All right. Okay, and so obviously, well, it kind of looked like this before, but I basically stopped looking at this name in mid to late 2023. But this trend line continued to work out, and eventually the price began to respect this major whole number level of $3 as a level of support, right? So the price continued to use this level for almost a year here. As a major level support. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hello. Right? And so this was a 2-year plus base, right? There's a huge macro base. Now, if you guys don't know what happened to Grab, why it's all the way down here to the single digits, well, first of all, if you guys remember the entire debacle, Grab actually became public through a SPAC. Right? There were SPAC mergers. It was one of the biggest SPAC mergers at that time too, and Grab was one of them. And unfortunately, after it IPO'd through a SPAC merger, this one actually continued to move down with every other SPACs out there that completely failed. Right? I remember other SPACs like CLOV. There's a plethora of them during that craze, that SPAC craze, and everyone thought that this was the new wave. This was the new way to IPO into the public markets, and obviously that completely fizzled out, and that did not work out, and a lot of people lost a lot of money on that. So Grab was one of those companies, right? However, there has been a complete character change, as I've said earlier, within the actual technical price of Grab. And so to me, based on what I've seen on the financial metrics of this company, it seems like the price is actually starting to react based on how the company is doing from a fundamental analysis. And so for me, this big breakout that I saw in late October of last year over this $4 whole number resistance level. Again, this is a multi-year level here that's been made. shows me that there is a complete character change here, and potentially the price could be moving in anticipation as to what the company can do in the, when I say near-term future, from a longer-term perspective or longer-term position. I'm always thinking about 3 to 5 years, right? Or if you guys want to give yourself a little bit more of a shorter time frame for a long-term position, you guys can look at it from a 2 to 3 year position, right? But again, for me, it's more of a 3 to 5 year perspective, right? When I say it's that there is a potential for this company to be moving for in anticipation for what it could what this company can do in the near-term future, right? So well, near-term future from a long-term position perspective, right? That's a whole jumble of words that I just said there, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. So you know, with Grab here, this breakout is truly a huge testament as to what the company has been doing itself, right? They're adding their market cap here. They're adding on to their market cap, excuse me, and they're adding more value to the overall company as well, especially for the shareholders. But at the same time, again, they're not just focusing on the shareholders here. This company continuously and has been consecutively focusing on the actual financial health of this company and focusing on its growth, right? And again, this is already a multinational company. This is an international company that's headquartered in Singapore. It's a Singapore-based company, and so you know, Grab also reminds me of yet another Singapore company, YY or Joy. Okay, I've talked about this company many times a long time ago, and we've actually captured, well, I personally captured a lot of great big moves up to the upside here. I remember this trade around here. It was an amazing trade. But again, so Grab here, again, is starting to make some strides here, right? From a technical perspective and from a fundamentals perspective. And so now, as I've stated here in the title, right? Grab could potentially be reaching $7.50. Now, why do I say that? Why do I say that, right? Well, first of all, okay, I am deducing that price, well, potential price target is what I would say here, based on the current option flows. So if you guys take a look at the options chain for ticker symbol GIRB, you see a lot of activity on the 2026 and 2027 expiration dates, especially for January. And you see a lot of heavy volume and activity every single day on the 5 strike call contracts or the $7.50 strike call contracts for both of those two expiration dates. Okay, now I do believe that for the 2026 expiration date for Grab, the $10 strike call contract also is receiving some attention. But again, that, you know, I don't know if Grab is yet valued at a double-digit share price. You know, from where it's at now, this is over 110% return, right? And sure, maybe in the next 2 to 3 years that could occur, but I don't think that will ever occur in the next 2 to 3 years, just based on what I've seen from fundamental perspective. I think it's going to take around at least 3 to 5 years for that to occur, which is again the reason why I'm holding this 3 to 5 year time frame for this long-term position, right? So which I honestly recommend you guys to do that as well. So from that perspective, the options chain continuously tells us, the flow on this name continues to tell us that, hey, there's a lot of people who are targeting $5, which is, again, it already reached it, right? It already caught this price target here, and it continues to actually consolidate. So let's actually go down to the daily time frame now and focus on what's happening here. So after this massive, explosive, impulsive breakout to the upside, hey, what's up, guys? Hey. So all the people who are just joining in now, wow, there's a lot of people joining in right now. So there is, so for anyone who's just joining in now, okay, I just talked about some very important stuff about Grab, so make sure you guys read the description down below, and also watch the replay. Okay, watch the replay, because again, I already went over some very important things that I highly recommend you guys to watch on this specific ticker that I'm talking about tonight. So again, watch the replay. I'm gonna repeat myself tonight on watching the replay, because again, I really think that whatever I have to say here on a specific ticker is pretty important. All right, and sometimes, not really sometimes, but a lot of the times it turns out to be true, right? Based on what I'm saying and what I'm analyzing, right? So, hey, Joel, you said, is the 200 SMA holding it down? Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. So what you saw in the weekly time frame there, the 200 SMA just began to form back in mid to late 2024. And so, this stock has had a lot of ups and downs, but now it's looking really good, right? It's officially in a new reversal, a new trend after a major slide, waterfall downward move after its SPAC IPO, right? So again, complete structure change here that I'm really liking so far. All right, so now on the daily time frame, as I've said earlier here, right, we have a pretty nice trend forming here. Okay, so there seems to be some solid consolidation happening after it reached $5 and then some more, right? And obviously it seems like it wasn't able to sustain this $5 level. However, it continued to stay above this major resistance level instead of retesting it yet again. Because again, after that initial breakout from $4, it continues to stick around this new land, this new no man's land here for the stock price, and it continued to use $4 as an area of great demand, and it was able to launch pad off of this $4 level. So to me, the fact that during this entire pullback and this consolidation so far, the fact that it didn't come back down to this $4 level just shows me that there is some very good relative strength in the actual stock price and price momentum. So now, as long as it continues to form this this wedge, right? So if you guys don't see the wedge now, right, here is the second trend line here. Okay, as long as it continues to tighten up within this wedge, I would prefer that it continues to move sideways and conforms to this wedge for the next 2 to 3 weeks, right? But here's the kicker here, right? So, Joe, you said sweet retest in the daily time frame. Nice. Yes, definitely, for sure. The earnings date for this one is around February 20th. All right, so of this month. So there could be a move out of this wedge. There could be a move back down below this wedge. Because again, if you guys don't remember what a wedge is, it is a neutral chart pattern. And if you guys don't know what that means, well, a neutral chart pattern usually means that it can provide a breakout to the upside or a breakout to the downside. Now, that could also be and/or, because there can be a lot of fake outs and shakeouts on any of the breakouts to the upside or to the downside. And what I mean by that is that if the price decides to, for example, initially break out to the upside out of the wedge, the price can immediately be slammed down, maybe because of a previous supply area that was formed within the wedge, for example, like here. So let's say the price broke above $5 again, right? And it reached around $5.40. Okay, the price can then be slammed back down because again, there is this little area, the supply area here, right? Where we were able to see previously that the price could not hold $5.40 as a new level of support, and it continued to move down from that point forward, right? So if we do see an initial breakout, and if we see 5.40 being retested and then immediate rejection, the price can actually come back down and go right back in between the consolidation ranges that were formed previously within this wedge chart pattern. And in fact, that's not all, right? So after that kind of a fake out to the upside, and it comes right back down to the chart pattern, it can actually break down, right? It can actually break out to the downside and give us an actual official breakout from the wedge to the downside. And the same thing can happen vice versa. So the wedge chart pattern can be one of the most, I guess, confusing chart patterns because you have to be really careful how you trade it. However, it can also be one of the most rewarding chart patterns from risk to reward perspective once you catch it on the initial breakout, either to the upside out of this descending resistance trend line, or to the downside out of this ascending support trend line. Does that make sense, guys? So I'm giving you guys a little bit of a masterclass here on basic technical analysis. Okay. Hey, thank you guys for the reactions there. Again, the reactions really help me. Well, it really helps me understand that you guys are also understanding what I'm saying too. So, again, if you guys can always reply in the chat, or react on the chat room using the emojis there that are provided by YouTube, that is always welcome, and I can really understand what you guys are understanding. Right? So from that perspective, right? Obviously, I am leaning towards the bullish side. I don't want this to have a fake out or any type of shakeouts. I don't want this to break down, okay? But if it does, well, maybe it might be a great time for a dip buy. But we can touch base on that if that occurs in the future. All right. So I love the fact that the price continues to consolidate within this range of this daily 50 SMA, this dark blue line, right? So the price was able to break out from the daily 50 SMA, and you guys can really see where there's that golden cross, that critical golden cross that occurred between the daily 50 SMA and my daily 200 SMA, this yellow line here. And once this golden cross occurred, we had that explosive breakout as well, just from this SMA perspective, right? So this is just from a technical perspective. But again, the price action alone tells you that this was ready to have an explosive breakout from this massive weekly base that I just showed you guys, right? Okay, so I just love the fact that the price continues to consolidate within the, I guess, area of influence is what I'll say, AOI of influence of this daily 50 SMA. So rather than trying to quickly move away from it after losing the daily 50 SMA, it rather decided to consolidate very closely to the daily 50 SMA, and now it's retesting it like it did today. And I love the fact that it's been able to move sideways to allow the daily 10 and the daily 21 SMAs, again, my daily 10 is my red line and my daily 21 SMA is my light blue line, to catch up. And as it caught up to the price, the daily 10 SMA was able to curl up and break over and cross over the daily 21 SMA, giving us that bullish short-term crossover on the SMA here, on the short-term SMAs on my daily 10 and my daily 21 SMAs. Now, why does that matter while the price is still being bogged down by the daily 50 SMA? Well, that tells us that there is some good, favorable, bullish momentum that is still in this name while it's consolidating within this overall wedge chart pattern. And so there is an opportunity for the price to try to break over the daily 50 SMA as it gets continuous large area of support and demand from the daily 10 SMA as it continues to retest it like it did yesterday and today and the days before that, and on the daily 21 SMA as well. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, I feel like I haven't done a lot of these technical analysis with you guys in a long time. So it feels good to be back. This is the OG Charts Focus 1 here for the lives and on the videos. If you guys have been with us since, 2020, you guys know, well, the channel, I believe, officially began in 2021, where I actually started to make videos, but but this is kind of the things that I used to do every chance I used to get. So again, thank you guys so much for always listening and watching and supporting the channel here, right? So with that in mind, okay, there's always that prospect of the price to, in the next couple of weeks or next couple of trading days actually, to break over the daily 50 SMA and actually move up towards earnings, right? So the reason why I always say this is that, you guys probably have heard me say that multiple times. Well, it's kind of a behavior for stock prices to actually move up into earnings, right? Because again, who wouldn't want stock prices to move up into a very uncertain catalyst like earnings, a 50-50 catalyst where the price can either move up or move down very rapidly and in a very volatile manner, right? Based on how overall investors and how the overall market reacts to its earnings report. And so people tend to be a bit more optimistic, and they want the stock price to move up into earnings so that they can at least try to sell at a higher price from wherever they've grabbed their entry points, or maybe at least try to get out break even as it heads into this very, very 50-50 risk event, right? So for Grab here, I am going to be looking at this one the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, and obviously the next couple of years, right? I most definitely want to grab some, well, not some, a lot of shares actually. It's a very cheap name. This is still, I regard stocks that are still underneath $5 per share a penny stock, if you guys didn't know that. Although I know there are a lot of people out there who also disagree with me on that. There's a lot of traders who tend to look at penny stocks as literally being pennies, or some people like to use a range of $1 to $3. But for me, a company is still regarded as a penny stock if it's still under or at $5 per share, right? And the reason being is that, well, a stock becomes very, very volatile once it breaks below $5 and continues to head down, right? So, and there's a lot of shorting activity that occurs when a stock is below $5. Okay, and that's something that I just personally observed throughout the 8 years of my experience in the market. 8 years. I can't believe I'm saying that now, but it's going to be almost a decade, right? So time's going to fly by, and it's going to be 10 years of experience here. So to me, yeah, Grab, definitely something to watch out for if you guys want to day trade this, which I don't really recommend. The trading ranges here, every single trading day is not too big enough for day trading. I would just recommend you guys to try to look at this from a long-term perspective. And again, I gave you guys some very good just one of the basic measures from a fundamental perspective. I gave you guys those financial metrics and give you guys kind of a quick insight as to why this company can be moving towards a more favorable way, that the company will be in a great position to continue to expand in the countries that it's working in and operating in, but at the same time simultaneously continue to expand and possibly go into other Asian markets and other countries, right? Because again, this company is focused right now in the southeastern countries like Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, right? Malaysia. So maybe if it can go up north a little bit more, maybe it can have expand and maybe penetrate other Asian markets. But again, that's going to be hard because in the Asian world, in the Asian markets, there are a lot of competition, right? And it's probably hard for smaller companies like Grab here to try to penetrate through those sometimes very saturated markets. Especially when it comes to ride-hailing businesses or food delivery, which again, Grab does everything, right? It's kind of an all-in-one app, right? All-in-one services in one app, excuse me, right? So, for Grab here, I would say it's a bit more of a speculative long-term position is what I would say, because again, there's still a lot of risk factors to consider for this name, which I think I'm going to actually add in. I'm probably going to add this name in next week's CFO Swing Watch report as we head into earnings. And the reason being is that, well, I really want to deep dive on this company from a fundamental perspective and try to just, I guess, kind of lower my my speculative risk, right? Saying, hey, this is still a bit of a speculation play here, because again, this is a very small, company based on its market cap and just based on the share price wise, but the company itself is doing extremely well. So I want to find more reasons to try to think of it not as a long-term speculative play, right? So I am going to be putting this in the report next week and giving you guys a complete top to bottom fundamental and technical analysis, and give you guys a much more deeper dive into this name. So for anyone who is not a reader of the CFO Swing Watch report, And if you guys are watching this stream now or the replay right now, make sure you guys look at the link down below. If you guys click on that link, you guys can choose to become a reader of the CFO Swing and Watch report, and maybe, possibly, you guys can catch what I have to say about this name and read that full top to bottom analysis, top-down analysis here on GRAB. Okay, both from a fundamental and technical perspective. Does that make sense, guys? All right, so again, just take a look at the description box down below. You guys can see the very first link provided in the description box will be, oh, actually it's the second link. But on the second link, well, you guys should be able to read that. You guys will find the subscription link to become an official reader of the CFO Swing and Watch report. And just to remind you guys will not just be becoming a reader of the CFO Swing and Watch report, but once you gain access to the report, you guys will be given full access to the private CFO Discord community. So you guys will get a link to that as well once you guys become a reader of the CFO Swing and Watch report. So again, you guys can get both of those two things for the price of one. All right. So that is it for tonight, guys. Hopefully, this can give you guys kind of a starter look to this company. And hopefully you guys can become readers before next week, before next Sunday, so that you guys can read the top-down analysis on this name from a fundamental and technical perspective. Again, I'm going to be doing a lot deeper dive onto this company, and if you guys want to read that research, please head on over to that link in the description box down below and become a reader today. All right. So again, it feels great to be back. We're going to be going right back to the Tuesdays and Thursdays streams at the same time at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Thank you guys so much for liking the stream. Thank you guys so much for being active in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting the Charts Focus One channel. Have a great rest of your night and good luck tomorrow.